This is Josh Bycer from GameWisdom.com. I hope you enjoyed this Critical Thought, your daily discussion on game design. Hello and welcome to today's Critical Thought. Before we begin, thank you to 876 subscribers here on YouTube. Hope everyone's enjoying the content, and be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and all that good stuff. We're on our way to 900 subscribers, and I'm going to get going on the 800 subscriber Let's Play vote real soon. Once again, you have until midnight tonight, that's October 30th, if you'd like to break the tie between the Hitman 2016 play, or a look back at some of the classic casual games of PopCap. Get your vote in now, otherwise I'll make the deciding factor come tomorrow. Also, if you would like to support Game Wisdom through the Patreon campaign and get a little discount, you have until tomorrow night at midnight to donate and choose the early bird rewards. After that, the rewards will go away and there will be the regular pricing. If you have any suggestions for things to add to the Patreon or rewards or whatever, be sure to let me know. Also, as I said, if you're interested in more ways of getting these videos or these casts or whatever, let me know if you'd like to see me do some more uploading to SoundCloud or any other digital platforms you can think of. One other thing before we get started, since tomorrow will be Halloween, there'll be a special Critical Thought just dedicated to horror in general, so be sure to stay tuned for that. For today's Critical Thought, I am going way back to talk about one of my favorite games that I'm sure most of you did not play, because this was an edutainment title, and that is The Logical Journey of the Zoombinis. Before you turn this video off, there is a point to this, and The Logical Journey of the Zoombinis is actually not only a great example of edutainment, but also in some major progression mechanics that work not just for kids but for anyone who plays video games. So The Logical Journey of the Zoombinis, as a funny aside, is also the only game that I own that I have a parent and teacher's guide for it, because I bought this way back, I think it was 95 or 96, I want to say. And like I said, it was part of what I like to consider like the golden age of edutainment titles, from companies like Broderbund and the Learning Company. And The Logical Journey, or I'm just going to say Zoombinis to make it easier for myself, is a game built on lateral thinking. Think of it as almost like a precursor to the Professor Layton games. In it, you basically guide the group of these creatures called Zoombinis. You can see them in the little screenshot up there, the little bluish purple guys. And they need to get to a new home. And so you take on these different paths using 16 Zoombinis at a time. They're considered almost like your lives, although there is no pressure or game over. And each challenge of the game is designed around teaching someone a different kind of lateral thinking, whether it's about figuring out a pattern to almost looking at things for a future, like figure out the step-by-step process of doing something, memorizing orders, you name it. And somewhere around here, I think I still have that manual. And maybe I'll do a lookup, see if I can find it, and we'll do like a supplemental piece for this. So the Zoombinis themselves, every time you start to fail a puzzle, you lose Zoombinis for that specific journey. If you run out of Zoombinis, you start back at the beginning of your little trial. And you choose your path at different junction points. So it's kind of like you start here, and you choose X, Y, and Z. You choose that one, then you choose the next one, and so on until you get to the end. I think each path was 3 puzzles. I want to say that, but it has been at least, my goodness, I feel old again, about 18 years since I think I last played it. Now, what makes the game not only a really good example of edutainment, but of achievement and progression rewards, is how the developers essentially motivate you to keep playing. How it happens is, when you get to the end of your journey, all the Zoombinis that you've collected or you've managed to get through go to their new town, Zombiniville. My goodness, I don't believe I actually remember that from back then. And Zombiniville is actually your trophy screen, which is what I like to call a in-game representation of your achievements. The more Zoombinis you have in Zoombinisville, the bigger the city grows, more stuff like that. Now here's where things get really good. If you complete a path without losing one Zombini, and that is of course mastering the different kinds of lateral thinking, you unlock a special building. This could be a concert hall, a museum, skyscraper, town hall, you name it. And that building becomes a permanent fixture of your town. And you click on the building, you get a little certificate saying, you know, so-and-so managed to get a perfect path on this date and has unlocked this building, and you can print it out. Now, I know for those of you watching this, you probably just rolled your eyes a little bit. But remember, this was 1994, and this was aimed at kids, so it was cute to get like, your little certificate of accomplishment. Now, here's where the genius of the game comes into play. When you beat that path, all the puzzles that you took on that specific path essentially level up. You get harder variants of it, still testing the same kinds of critical and lateral thinking, but there's a new wrinkle to make it harder. That puzzle up there was about figuring out a specific order, and you're going to love the story for this one. The puzzle involves you dealing with these trolls who want specific food, and they love pizza. So you create a machine, so that machine up there, you put together a pizza based on the right toppings. And then if the troll likes it, he'll take it and you're good. If he doesn't like it, he'll throw it off. And you have to figure out the right pizza they want. And if you fail too many times, he'll start kicking Zoombinis off. And then the harder variants adds in dessert, and adds in, if you can make it out in that picture, 2 other trolls. So it becomes harder. Again, it doesn't become cheaper or more frustrating, they're just increasing what they want out of the player. And all the puzzles are like this in some way, shape, or form of making it harder. And here's the brilliant part. They are teaching kids about lateral and critical thinking. And the rewards are essentially a means of saying, okay, well, you're doing good, but can you go for this? And if you can go for this, we're going to make it more challenging and make the reward even better. And this is essentially gamification 101. They're using game mechanics and progression to motivate you to keep learning. Now, in this case, it's through the use of edutainment. So they are learning passively. The game doesn't stop and tell you, well, you solved this puzzle, so this is what you learned X, Y, and Z. Instead, it banks on the fact that these puzzles are teaching without overtly saying it. And the progression and achievement mechanics will keep you playing. I hope you don't hear the dog barking outside my window too loud. But this is a great example of not only edutainment, but of using progression and achievements to motivate someone to keep playing, and more importantly, to keep improving. Because you're not going to unlock anything in the Zoombinis if you make it through a journey with only 1 or 2 left. It requires a perfect run. And again, the first time you play, it's going to be easy. And I believe, if I remember right, there's 3 tiers for each puzzle, so easy, medium, and hard. So for the players for the kids who learn things the best, they're going to get their Zoombinisville to be, this massive place with all the luxury buildings and all their little Zoombinis happy. And again, it's just a very interesting quagmire or amalgamation of mechanics, progression, achievement to make a very entertaining game that's beyond just a simple edutainment title. And for developers watching this, the key lessons you should be taking notes of from this. One is the use of the trophy screen, an in-game representation to show your achievements off. It's always nice to see these progression elements in-game, something you can show your friends or just as your own, sense of accomplishment. Payday 2, as a good example, recently did that with the safe house and having little trophies that are spread around there based on specific achievements. Another point, of course, is growing the challenge, making it more interesting, and rewarding players with a suitable accomplishment. And again, it's built around different players. If someone can only do the basic puzzles, they'll still get that basic level of trophies or the basic achievements. As if they improve, there's that means of getting better and the rewards are there. And all that is just a great motivator to keep playing, and in this case, keep learning. Now, with the Zoombinis, there are also other interesting examples of edutainment or games aimed at kids who did things differently. Another classic series was the Creatures series, but that's going to have to be for another time. For those of you watching, if you remember games like The Logical Journey of the Zoombinis, are there any other edutainment titles that you really enjoyed? Not just from a learning point of view, but from an actual game mechanic system. Let me know in the comments below. But otherwise, we're going to end things here for this not so lazy Sunday of a critical thought. Once again, thank you to 876 subscribers. Be sure to vote. You have until midnight tonight. Come back tomorrow for the horror-themed critical thought. And otherwise, I hope you have a great Halloween. Once again, I'm Josh Bycer from GameWisdom.com. Thanks for enjoying the content here, as well as on the site, and I'll see you all tomorrow with more great stuff. Take care. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoy it, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and of course share with your friends. It always helps out. For daily posts on all manner of game design and industry topics, check out game-wisdom.com. To support the site and everything that I do, be sure to check out the Patreon campaign. If we can hit goals, it will mean more content for everyone to enjoy, and I'll be able to support myself and my household. If you want to follow me, you can find me on Twitter at GWBycer for updates throughout the day and random thoughts from me. And lastly, you can find me on Twitch right over there at GWBycer for daily streams most nights around 10 Eastern. Thanks again for watching the video, and be sure to check out more great content coming to the Game Wisdom channel real soon.